So I decided to do a reading for my friend who's overseas and in a bit of a precarious situation. I know her birth sign, so I laid out these cards regarding whether or not she's able to stay in this foreign country that she is kind of stuck in. So let's start. Here we have the Chariot. It's a card that we've seen many times before. It represents the zodiac sign of Cancer. And if you look at this card, you'll see this charioteer in gold armor, but he's in a yoga pose. Yoga often symbolizes sexuality and comfort with the body. So this is a charioteer that is moving forward, but with help. So this message tells me that you're in a vulnerable position and you need to reach out to the people that are there for you to help you. You can see that there are these Egyptian statues, and they're kind of, well, they look like statues, but they are actually participating in pulling the chariot. So it's this sort of combination of forward movement and staying safe in the process. So that's your current state of mind in this reading. So let's look at the influences. So here we have the Queen of Cups. Water of water. It's a very yielding card. Cups represent the emotional state. So in this case, your strategy is to just be in the flow. And that has gotten you this far, but it is not a sustainable way to be. It's not going to get you to your goal of being able to stay there. So we move to the next card, which is the Princess of Discs. Now this is the Earth Mother in the truest of sense. She carries the seeds of life here. This is really getting to your roots. Who are you? Who do you want to be? So you go from water of water, the purest of this element, to the purest of the earth element. So you need to get grounded. You need to have a plan, and you need to tap into that inner power within you as well as those without you to move yourself forward. You cannot just stay in this supplicant role of just surrendering to whatever comes your way. You need to become more of a take charge, but in a very grounded, practical way. You're not controlling anything else. You're just taking care of yourself. Now let's move on. If that is achieved, that leads us to the next card, which is the card of Gemini in the zodiac. It's the sun. You see the two twins from Gemini dancing there. This particular person that I'm doing the reading on is a Gemini, so this is very symbolic. This card, when it's exalted, meaning favorable, it represents manifestation. It represents pushing through the obstacles to achieving what you want. If you are not able to reach this part of yourself, then this becomes more of a delusion card. So we don't want that. So this is showing you the pathway to reaching the next card, which is wealth. Now, normally the 10 in a suit is not a good card because it's the bottom of this tree of life. This is actually a tree of life in coins, symbolically. And each place on the tree of life has a meaning. The 10 is the bottom. And normally that means like a completion, an exhaustion of the suit in a negative way. But because discs are the last of the suits, and this is the last of the discs, it leads us back up to the beginning. So it's a pinnacle, it's positivity, it's manifestation of the material, in this case of money, which is something that this person is going to need to achieve their goal. So once again, you're moving forward, but with protection. You want to stay safe. You want to make sure that you have your helpers in play. You still want to be yielding, but just being yielding is not going to move you ahead. You need to tap into this practical energy, this female power, and have a plan of what you want to manifest. If you do that, then there is the potential to actually manifest it, which is what you're looking for. And the key for you being able to stay is going to be wealth. So this is all super positive. So sometimes when I do a reading like this, I add one more card just to see where it goes. And this card is the 9 of Cups, or happiness. So this is a really great result. So this is basically saying that if she follows this guidance, stays protected but moves forward, is surrendering and open to change, but takes action and has a plan, manifests it, that will lead to financial reward and emotional happiness. So in a final reading with the person that I'm sitting with or talking to, I would then elaborate on specific questions that they might have. The other thing I look at is how many we have of a particular suit or whatnot. So we have one trump here and one trump. So 2 trumps in this short reading, very good, showing it's a powerful energy moving forward. Then we have cups, we've got 1, and then this final one. So that's the emotional path. And then we have discs here and here. We have no swords in this reading, and swords are mental energy. So this is something that you need to act on. You kind of know what you want, and honestly, you know how to do it. You just need to harness that power to make it happen, and then you are able to achieve the happiness that you seek. All right, that's an example of basically a 5 to 6 card reading, knowing the person's burst sign and their overall question. Book yours today.